After 16 years as host of The Daily Show, Jon Stewart announced he is leaving.
This is Jon Stewart.
He stepped in to take over as host of The Daily Show back in 1999. And in the years since, he has transformed the program. It's must-see television. He's won awards. He's interviewed key political figures, including the President of the United States. But yesterday, there was this.
These divisions of security, not just what happened in Benghazi. But in my heart, I know it is time for someone else to have that opportunity. And this show doesn't deserve an even slightly restless host, and neither do you.
So there you go. You get the feeling that after 16 years, slightly restless, as he said. But the announcement itself, total surprise to his fans, and my goodness, social media, Yelena, blew up. Yelena Adzik taking a look at this story for us. Tell us more about the announcement.
Yeah, so it was a surprise, Heather, absolutely. And a lot of people are really saddened by this. As you know, as so many of us know, he was just hitting that sweet spot, that demographic. Certainly the males, the 18 to 49, absolutely top-rated show in the United States for on Comedy Central for so many years, as you say, and just really having this incredible blend of humor that was sometimes silly, but also could veer into the quite serious, covering topics that one would think you cannot bring levity to, but somehow he found a way to do it and get away with it. Have a look at this clip.
It's a football game. I'm pretty sure they're just going, hey, fellas, let's score some touchdowns. Or maybe they're just preparing to dance at Tevye's daughter's wedding. Submission! I've got no gun!
Yeah, so what's come out today is we have a statement, a network statement from the Comedy Central's president, Michelle Gainless. And basically they're saying that Jon Stewart has been the heart of Comedy Central and he's a comedic genius. And through his unique voice and vision, quote, The Daily Show has become a cultural touchstone for millions of fans and an unparalleled platform for political comedy that will endure for years to come. Now, of course, they're going to put on a brave face, but obviously they are going to be, yeah, it's quite a blow to them. He really nurtured talent. You know, you think about people like John Oliver, Larry Wilmore, and Stephen Colbert. A lot of people say that he really was responsible for launching the career of Steve Carell. So it was really just one of those moments where a lot of people were shocked that he's calling it a day.
Yeah. Say it isn't so, you know, but I guess it can't go on forever. He was a little coy on where he's going next. But it's interesting in terms of his impact. I mean, as you say, it was the fusion of pop culture and politics and a lot of serious issues treated with a comedic tinge.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Heather, when you talk about where he's going next, I think that we certainly saw hints of that when he came to Canada to premiere his film that he directed, the first one that he's ever directed, Rosewater. And this is a movie that he premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. And it was all about the story of BBC journalist Mazaher Bahari, an Iranian-born Canadian citizen who ended up being detained and tortured for 118 days in Iran. So, again, a serious story. In this particular case, he did not bring any humor to it per se, but he did bring a lot of insight. And it seems like that's what's gotten him very sort of passionate about shifting gears and going in a new direction. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him directing, you know, more films in the near future. But at the same time, when we think about serious topics and you talk about all the heavyweights, the political heavyweights that he's covered on the show, including Obama, he did not hesitate to tear a strip off of them at any point, and often on very serious issues. So take a look at him, and he's challenging Obama, and he does it in a pretty harsh way. Have a look.
I would say even you would admit it was not the optimal response, at least to the American people, as far as us all being on the same page.
Well, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
If 4 Americans get killed, it's not optimal.
Right.
And we're going to fix it.
Right.
And
all of it.
All of it.
So there he's talking to President Obama about Benghazi, and in some cases he would ask questions of people that other journalists were either afraid to ask or they didn't even get the platform. He often got guests sometimes before the rest of the media did. So he really had this ability to do that. But at the same time, when I mentioned the self-effacing points earlier, he always tried to project modesty as far as his reach and his influence. He would always say, even when he was interviewed on CBC related to his film at the TIFF Festival, he would always say, no, I don't have that much of an influence, when clearly the numbers would indicate that he did. And if you look at the different political shows in the U.S. that he was on, and he would debate and really, in some cases, perhaps take the show off the air. I'm thinking about Crossfire when he came on there. That was famously in 2004. And he just took Tucker Carlson to task at that time. So I think ultimately he really, I think, just can't deny the impact that he's had, even skewering our own politicians, such as Canadian and Torontonian, the mayor, Rob Ford. He really didn't really leave anybody out of his sniper fire. So really and truly, this is a particular man who has left his imprint on the comedy world. And the president of Comedy Central did confirm that he will be at the helm of the show at least until the end of this year.
All right. So don't miss a single episode, I guess, is the lesson there. You know, a lot of people sad, as we've said. So thank you very much. We'll talk more about that. Yelena watching the reaction and the legacy of Jon Stewart.